Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chelloveck Movies. My name is John, and this video is going to be an unboxing of two amazing packages. So first up is this package I got from JamSlips, James. And it was funny because this was delivered to me quite a few times, but I was work all the time it came, and I was in today and I got it today. So, nurse, scalpel, thank you. So every month I get in touch with James and ask him to do some custom slips for me. Now, the best thing about these ones is, especially one of them, well, actually all of them, but one of them in particular, which you'll see when I open it up. As always, I get in touch with James on Instagram. I'll leave a link down to his Instagram account down below. If you want anything of him, just message him, and he talks you through what you can do with the things. I give him a kind of rough idea of what I wanted with these ones. It was hard to choose because all of the designs that James has sent me were absolutely brilliant. So, but I've chosen well, I think. Can't wait to see them. And as always, James has wrapped this immensely well. Everything you get from him is completely protected, so never worry about that. That's the stuff there. And it comes and he puts an amazing recorded tracked delivery on here. So everything's taken care of. Absolutely brilliant. The first one is, oh yes, wow. Now, bit of a story behind this. When I got in touch with, I've been in touch. Oh, well, actually, oh wow, I was in touch with James about something else, and I'll show you. And I said to him, actually, the backstory of this one is, wow, that this was my least favorite 4K of all time to look at. I thought that this movie is a stunning movie. It looks absolutely brilliant on 4K, but it was always a letdown because it didn't have a slipcover, never, and the actual cover that was used was absolutely atrocious. And it is, of course, Last Action Hero. Now, when you look at that, that looks to me like something you would find on not even a Commodore 64, on a Commodore 16 game. This release should have been a much bigger deal. And I think really, I got it when it was in the 2 for £24 sale very soon after it came out. So that just shows you that the planning behind this probably cost it a bit of money in the long run. So as you probably know, to combat that, I got this off James. This slip case, should I say, slip box, is absolutely amazing. Highest of quality, and it slips on there, and you would never know the atrocity that lies within. But I was saying to James, and James is a great guy, and get in touch with him and have any quandary you want, he will sort it out for you. So I said, James, this really bugs me because if you look on the disc here, this is the kind of the thing I associate with Last Action Hero, even on the cover for here. And James did put me a little card in there with that cover on there. But I got in touch with him and I says, could you make me a sleeve for that? And he said, yeah, no problem. So down here is a sleeve. And here it is. And that is ready just to fit in there. There you go, look at that. Now, I mean, this is it's just, wow. That's so crisp. Look at that. That's a double whammy if ever I saw one. Wow. I don't think I've seen a picture before. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So do know that as well as slip covers, the slip cases, should I say, he does do covers for the mute, and that's really good quality, that. So I will swap this over now and I'll show you what it looks like. So that for me is a huge elevation to make this the release that it should have been. The 4K that a company couldn't even make. Wow, look at that. So there you go. Absolutely brilliant. Stunning artwork. I've never seen this artwork before. So that was a new cover for Last Action Hero. So this one has, nice. Now, this movie here is a great movie, actually. If you find this movie, the one about the lift, when they've got to go in a lift and sort out all their differences about this, it's a lot more to it than four people stuck in a lift. It's an absolutely brilliant movie. It says in German with optional English subtitles, but you do get an English dub in there as well, which is quite good, actually. So the slipcover for it is here. Look at that. That is the alternative art on there. We get all the bonus features on here. The printing on here is just fantastic. It's region free as well. So I didn't know anything about this till I got off John Hall. But I'll tell you what, it's a great movie. So here we go. Movie goes in there, and there you are. Brilliant. Now this is on actually on the smaller US slip. So you've got the option to get a bigger slip or this the US one. So there's every option out there. This is beautiful, this one. What a slip that is. This this like I say, this movie is a great movie. That'll look great in the shelf, that won't it? Absolutely brilliant. So that's I can't take my eyes on when I'm looking at them. I can't take my eyes off these actual releases. So good. So that's out of order. Now, this is for a movie that I'm after, but I'm pretty sure that I won't get it with a slip. That's absolutely amazing. They're all wrapped and protected in here. They will not get damaged at all. This is for the movie Deadly Games. What a slip that is. I mean, what a cover. That's just brilliant. I think, yes, it's Vinegar Syndrome. Now, I don't think this is available. The Vinegar Syndrome release is available with a slipcover. And I think, oh, look at that. Get the Vinegar Syndrome thing as well. That would look amazing on the shelf. And I'll be picking that up. And I'll be putting that's for the slip on that one. But this is just absolutely brilliant. And it's great as well because, as you know, some of these Vinegar Syndrome slips, as nice as they are, they can become so sought after and so ridiculous in price. But with this one, you can sort of get past that and you can bypass that. But with having the same sort of the ident on it and everything. So look at the actual thing on that. The quality of that is just amazing. It just shows you as well what slips that Vinegar Syndrome put out. Can't wait to get this one. That's another one that was like right up my alley. Absolutely brilliant. It's amazing what Vinegar Syndrome released on 4K, isn't it? So there you go. So that's Deadly Games. I also want to say a thank you to my good friend Michael Hewitt, because if you remember, he brought me from the US version of a Clockwork Orange. At first, I thought it'd be good to have one that didn't have a slip, be like a different version, that all my other 4Ks have slips on it. And then I thought to myself, hang on a minute, I think I'll have a word with James and just see what he can come up with. I says, I just want to get a slip cover to go on this one, but a one that's just different to anything else I've seen. And my God, has he done it right? So anyway, a big thank you to Michael Hewitt for giving me this when he come back from the States, which is an amazing gift of Michael. He's such a good guy. Wish he had a channel so I could promote it. But anyway, thank you, Michael, for getting this to me. So I got in touch with James and I said, can you do me a custom slip for it? And he has made me this one. So the slip is, oh, wow. There was 4 different choices I can choose from. It's so hard to pick. So I think I will come back with James in the future and actually get a Blu-ray slip for one of the Blu-rays I've got up there. But this was the one that spoke to me the most. But it was a hard choice to make actually. And there's yeah, there's actually some there's another yeah. Anyway, there's an insert there. But the cover that James has got me for this version of Clockwork Orange is this. Look at that. My God. This is brilliant. I did say to James that I did want one with a nice big Clockwork Orange on the side, which he's done, you know, amazing. And he's also put this in as well. So this is the kind of thing, actually, wow. I'm just thinking, though I don't know how the devs would sit with this, but I can put this in the studio. It's not a garage. I think I'm going to frame this and put it in there. So yeah, I think I'm going to keep that out. I do think I'll put that in a frame actually and put that in the studio somewhere. That's brilliant. I mean, look at that. So this now, and it's the US one, so it's a thinner case. This one is going to slip in there. This is a slip. Oh, actually, there's something else in there. Look at that. The amount of the amount of different things that James has got when I say to him, oh, Yeah, that's James's stuff there. So I'm going to put that up there. Please get over to Instagram. If you're interested in any of these things, go over, just have a word with James, and he literally will sort you out with anything you want. That's amazing. Well, that'll go in the box. So I'll put that in there. That goes in there. Actually, I'm sure that this disc is different than the UK one. I think. Brilliant. That goes in there, and then this one goes in the case. There you go. Absolutely brilliant. This will look great on the shelf. And that'll go next to my other 4Ks over there. I've got, I think, 4 on 4K, I think. Wow. So big shout out to Michael Hewitt and also James for this. I knew as soon as I got this, as soon as I thought about it, I thought, I'm sure I can get something good to go on here. And especially one that's kind of like designer that you can't get anywhere else. Like James said, he said, because I picked this and I put it to the way I want it, it will be, a one of one. It'll be one that's not available anywhere else. You kind of got a unique kind of special edition. It's just great. It's amazing quality. I don't know how he does it actually. So again, if you want any of your stuff upgraded on slip boxes, slip cases, or even covers, just get across the JamSlips link down below. Cheers, James. So as I mentioned before, I was after this set from Arrow, and it wasn't until I had a chat with my good friend Rockgod 2004, aka Nige, link down below to his channel, about how big this is, or how small it is, how compact it is. I thought, yes, I'm definitely going to get it because I was on the assumption it was too big to put in the shelves. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you where it is on the shelves. I've cleaned a space for here. And actually, I've cleaned it. I'm going to have to clean some more spaces here for when the Bruce Lee set comes, because that's where it'll end up. So anyway, I'm going to get into this and see what I make of it and give you my ideas, give you my thoughts on this presentation. So a nurse, scalpel, thank you. So they didn't have to put it in, but they did. It's great to have stuff like that, isn't it? Stops this stuff rattling about in the box. Actually, it's a lovely set. You know what this is, but it's always nice to get something brand new from Arrow. So this is the Enter the Video Store Empire of Screams. This makes me think that they're going to have more of these. Now, the movies in here are very interesting movies. I like the movies that they picked for this. This is the type of movies that you'd expect to see at the video store when you went in the early 80s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go downstairs, I'm going to go through this set, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it and what I think of it. I didn't realize this came off, so I will put it back on, but it's actually something you could actually take off and you wouldn't have to have on. It does have all the special features on there, and there's loads of special features. But here is the box. Now, this is such an amazing set. When Arrow do this type of movie, they do this kind of version, this is where they stand out for me. They've taken some really, not obscure, but some really old 80s cheese, for want of a better word, and they've put it all together. Now this, actually, to be honest, if I was in the video shop now in the 80s and I went through and I sort of looked on the shelves, you would see most of these movies around the late 80s and early 90s, and you would think, I'll be after all of these ones because this is the type of thing that used to go for back in the day. This is a real retro look. Now, what I've done in here is you get loads of posters and art cards. What I'll do is I've taken them out to get one really special item with it, which I think is a great touch. I'll go through the art cards and the posters first, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what you get in this box. So first up, take a look at this. You get a video card. Remember them? Used to go and buy your videos. Used to go to the video library with a video card. That is a really nice touch there. And speaking of which, nice touches. Arrow, the ident they usually have on, they have a different ident on for these movies. I don't know if it's going to be one they're going to continue. It's a great sort of 80s throwback like the other one is. But this one on here is absolutely brilliant. I wish they would do more of it. Now, when I look at this set, I do think there is plenty more of these movies that they could get into this kind of range of, for want of a better word. And I do think we're going to get some more stuff down the line. But I think that's a really good little throwback, like this whole set is. So that's the Arrow video library card. First up is the Dungeon Master art cards. On the back you get this. And you get 3 cards from each movie. And there is the amazing Blackie Lawless from Wasp, who was in this movie. Speaking of which, look at this. This is my 12-inch vinyl of Scream Until You Like It, from the theme from Ghoulies 2. So I love Wasp back in the day. It's great, actually. Still have this 12-inch. Got quite a few there, vinyl, actually. Wow. Look at this. Look at them. Here's the double-sided poster for Dungeon Master. The art cards for dolls. This is what you get in the back of all of them. Double-sided poster for dolls. Art cards for Cellar Dweller. This is what you get in the back of all 3. Great effect, that. Double-sided poster for Cellar Dweller. Art cards for Arena. This is what you get on the back of all 3. Double-sided poster for Arena. Art cards for Robot Jocks. This is what you get on the back of all 3. Double-sided poster for Robot Jocks. This one here has to be my favourite poster out of the whole set. As I said, this set fits nicely on the shelves, which I'll show you now. So there's how it looks on the shelf, well, I should say on the floor. Excuse the dust if there's any. And you can see that I keep most of my, if not all of my Arrow stuff down the bottom there. That goes across the floor like that. Now on the other side, I've got some other stuff which I'm moving around. They're not going to really stop there. I think the Arrow stuff is going to go across the bottom now, and I'm going to move this stuff to a different shelf. But you'll see there, I mean, I brought that out. It goes right there if you wanted it to, but I've put it out so it's level with the other ones. I think that's how I'm going to have it. But it doesn't take up too much space, a lot less than I thought. Plus it also fits into the shelf, so yeah, very happy with that. So on the box it says, we're not too old to play with toys. Brilliant. Amazing set. So in the set you get all the movies put in like that, and the booklet. The booklet itself is an amazing booklet. I wish this video had smell-o-vision, because you'd be able to smell this book. It smells, you know, that smell that you get from them. It's amazing. It just looks like something you would get in the 80s. If you went to the video shop, you would see one of these lying on the shelves. It's absolutely stuffed to the gills with everything you need to know about these movies. It's got loads of photographs behind the scenes. It's got loads of things about the movies themselves, behind it, sort of what they're all about, some of the special effects that they used. And you've got to understand that these movies are of a certain type. They are low budget. Sometimes they're quite insanely stupid, but in a good way. I do like this type of movies, and when I was getting stuff out of the video library, I would always come across these movies and get them, and I enjoy them for what they are. And to be honest, I enjoy them a lot more now than I did back in the day. There's a lot of these movies I remember seeing. There's one that I didn't remember when I looked through them. I knew I had never seen this movie before. But be honestly, the one that I hadn't seen before looked the most insane out of the whole lot. But there's a lot to be said for movies that are just so like out there. So Stuart Gordon and Charles Band, who are responsible for most of the titles in here, they've got a good history of movies, and they've also got a history of making some really crazy movies, like Trances, for instance, which I think is an absolutely brilliant sort of series, one of my favourites. So this is 80 pages, and I like the fact it's got January the 24th, 1989 on the cover. I don't know why, but they've got that one on. There must be some reason behind that. First up is Dungeon Master. Now this is, I'm sort of thinking, am I going to keep this art or not? I'm not too sure which I'm going to go with this, either this art or the original one. I'll see how I go. At the moment, I'm going to keep it on this one for now, on these ones, on all of them. There's the original art there. A bit like the posters, actually. And so you've got your choice of anything you want, really. And does this have the age rating on here, on the side? No, it doesn't. was thinking you could get rid of the age rating, but they've got them on. Ah, actually, I haven't got them on there, so you can kind of get them off completely if you wanted to. Not that you'll see them really in the box. So it's this. All these discs look great. Now, what I think about on this, the restorations on here, I think what they've done is they've got this. They've got all the elements of MGM, and they've done a bit of work on it, a little bit like what Second Sight do. They'll take the elements and they'll sort of do their remastering on it. So this one, and I've got one to compare. These ones, I would imagine, would look better than anything you've ever seen before because it's had that extra bit of restoration work on it. Now, when I flicked through this, I do remember this movie. I remember it being quite mad. It's one of those ones where it's the game that you used to have down in the Spanish city. I used to play in this game where it was too hard to play. It was like a one where you would say you would go along and you were controlling like a cartoon character. It was a proper cartoon, looked like a Disney cartoon, and you would say, "I want to go a certain way," and if you did, you might die, and if you didn't, you might live and go on to the next thing. It was just pre-programmed bits of Disney footage, but it was I can't remember what it's called, but it was such a hard game, but it was actually one of the ones that was quite expensive to play, but it's got shades of that. So on that tone, I mean it's got Wasp in it. I mean, what more could you want? It's just what a mad thing for Wasp to be in these movies in the 80s. So but the picture quality on here is absolutely stunning. It's one that I thought it would be because I'm used to getting stuff from sort of you call it Full Moon. I've got a lot of stuff from 88 somewhere or Full Moon things, and they look good, but they don't look brilliant. But these ones look like next level good, and I'm glad that they put the extra restoration into it. And also you get a slew of special features on here, which I put up. There's too many to talk about. If I was talking about them all, this video would be about an hour long. So first up, highly, highly anticipated when I look at it, I really want to check this one out. That's the Dungeon Master. Next up is Dolls. Now I do have this one here to compare it to. I'll put this on, and actually this one looks pretty good. I couldn't remember this one looked good or bad or whatever, but this one looked really nice, really sharp. So I mean, you can get this for next to nothing in a CEX, probably about £2. So this one looked pretty good, but this one looked the same but better. The colours, you could tell the colours have been tweaked on this one because it stood out much more than the other one. This movie, I've seen this movie before, and it's a really good movie. Think of Puppet Master. It's exactly like that, with a sort of a twist to it, and it's highly, highly enjoyable. In fact, I think this is going to be well. I'm going to watch them in order the way they're on the box. So Dungeon Master be first. When I watch them, I'm really interested to see this one again because I remember liking it back in the day, but I haven't seen it for quite a while. But you do get a definite upgrade on the picture quality with this one. I can tell from that one, although I haven't got any of the other ones on previous versions. Again, lots of extras. And yeah, so I'm going to keep that cover. I like that cover actually. So that's Dolls. Next up is Cellar Dweller. Now, as soon as I put this on, I remember this movie quite a lot actually, even though I haven't seen it for the longest time. Again, you get nice disc art, and you do get the attention to detail of the set is quite good actually. Now, I was thinking to myself when I thought about it, £55 for movies that I might have bought separately. But then again, even if you get them in the Arrows sale, you're probably going to pay around about £50, in total for these movies. But in this one, you get this lovely box, presentation, all the discs, you get the booklets, and you get that little card as well. So you can't grumble, can you? So I think this set is highly recommended and highly worth it as well. You get your extras there. Now this movie has some great stars in it. It has Jeffrey Combs from Reanimator and also has Yvonne De Carlo from The Munsters. So what's not to like about that? So the picture quality again is sensational. So absolutely brilliant. That's Cellar Dweller. Next is Arena. What a cover that is. Now actually this is the only one out of the whole set that they couldn't find the original negatives for. So this is, you would say, the lowest of them. And you can tell it's not as good as the other ones, but still it's pretty good actually. I was expecting to look pretty trashy actually. And on which one is it? I think on Dungeon Master you get 3 cuts of that. You get like a long one, and you also get 2 shorter ones. So and I think that's the only one with extra cuts on, I think. But yeah, so that's something to remember. So when I put this on, I thought, I think I've seen this movie, but when I looked at it, there's no way I've seen this movie. Some of the special effects they've got in here, a bloke with four arms, and you can really tell it's like just someone stand behind the other fella. He's got like really daft. It's got some good special effects in here. I think they're trying a lot of good stuff. I think they've all got limited budgets, these movies. Bear that in mind. You're not going to get anything that's going to be like Avatar 3, but you're going to be very entertaining. And to me, these type of movies, that's all I want from them. I want them to be entertaining. Sometimes the special effects are hokey. I don't mind. I'm not wanting to be wowed. I'm just wanting to be entertained. And this box to me looks like it's going to be entertaining, beyond belief. So anyway, that's Arena. The last up is Robot Jocks. Now, this is the one that for me, as soon as saw this announced, this is the one that I thought I need to get this movie. I remember seeing this back in the day on Sky Movies. It was always on Sky Movies, as well as is it Crash and Burn? There's like a sort of sequel. There's Robot Jocks 2 as well. That's my favourite cover from the whole lot of them. I just remember that. That should be the standout thing. Now, this movie actually, the picture quality in here is absolutely stunning. But most of the robot jocks, the robots themselves, are done in stop motion, a bit like Ray Harryhausen. And they look great, don't get us wrong, but as soon as they're on the screen, the picture quality comes down a notch. But it doesn't matter. It's actually quite good for what it is. And I remember when I watched it, I wasn't blown away by it, thinking, oh, how did they do that? I knew how they did it. But I thought that the budget for this was quite large. It was a huge flop, unfortunately. But when I watched it, this is the one that I think that Deborah will go for the most because it's a bit stupid, it's a bit daft, but it's definitely Pacific Rim. It's definitely taking some of this because it's basically Pacific Rim the way that they kind of get these robots to control them just by moving around, and they can become the robots. But great movie. I think it wanted to be more than it was, which isn't a problem because sometimes these movies that have all these dreams and aspirations, they don't. It makes them a good movie, even though you could look at them now. Say if you're a fan of Pacific Rim and you think, "Oh, I'd love to see this," because it's like that. It's like that, but it looks nothing like it. It's like Pacific Rim done on a budget of 20 pence, but it's not. It's so enjoyable, this movie, and I think this will really. I mean, even the clips I saw of it, they stood the test of time in the way, don't forget, I'm saying cheese. I'm saying these movies aren't going to win Oscars, but they are entertaining. So that to me is the one I'm really looking forward to. And funny enough, it'll be the last one because it's the last one in this set, but I will definitely get around to it with the Debs. So that's Robot Jocks. So to recap, this set is absolutely amazing. I'm so glad I picked it up. I'm so glad I listened to Rockard 2004, link down below, when he told me about the size of this and actually what you get in it and the movies and what they look like. And also Michael for sending me this movie. And if you want to get your slips put on, your custom slips, just get down and see JamSlips down there and put an order in. Great guy, and you'll get exactly what you want, if not more than what you want. So, thanks for watching, especially you, James and Michael and Nigel. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.